Western Kenya is home to rolling tea plantations, equatorial forest, various tourist attraction sites along with Kenya's second highest mountain and the largest lake in Africa. It includes Nyanza and western counties of Bungoma, Vihiga, Kakamega and Busia. Due to the magical wonders of Western Kenya, Moi University Nairobi campus fourth-year communication students from the School of Information Science embarked on an academic field course to Western Kenya, specifically Kisumu and Kakamega County. The trip was aimed to put the skills we had learnt in class to practice. Jivanjee Gardens was our assembly point before leaving Nairobi at 9 a.m. by the university bus to Kisumu. On our way, we enjoyed watching the beautiful sceneries that made it such an exciting road trip. We arrived at the great city of Kisumu, famously known as Kisumu Dala or Europe, at around 5 p.m. in the evening. This is the magical wonders of Western Kenya. 3 kilometers outside Kakamega town, on a ridge that overlooks the Kisumu-Kakamega highway, stands the crying stone of Ilesi. This marked our first stop and day one of our field trip. For outsiders, it is a tourist attraction. For the Luhya community and the community living around it, it is a cultural and spiritual heritage. There are myths around the crying stone found in Ilesi, Kakamega, and legend has it that the large rock cannot stop crying. Known for the local community as Ihongo Murwi, it is about 40 meters tall, a large boulder balanced on a column of rock that initially had water flowing from a groove in the center. However, in the recent years, the tracks made by the water running down the rock face have been more visible because the crying stone of Ilesi is often dry. It hasn't cried continually as it once did for years. But what really happened?
Mabadiliko ya anga imefanya angalau hiyo maji haitoki, na venye mvua ilikuwa ikinyesha maji ilikuwa ikitoka.
Kama hainyeshi maji hakuna.
A climate risk profile of Kakamega County published by Kenya's Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries reveals that while there has been an increase in the average annual rainfall in the county in recent years, it has been erratic and largely concentrated in highly intense bursts. The strange rock formation resembles a solemn head resting on weary shoulders, and from certain angles, it looks like a person who is crying. Much about the stone has a mythical belief. Is there more to this?
Ihongo means ihongo ni mwili na muruni kichwa ile yenye iko kule juu. Alafu pia kuna cave mbili, ya kwanza inaitwa sacrifice cave na nyingine inaitwa cleansing. Hiyo ya sacrifice cave Rajamari wanakuja wanaombea kwa siku 3 alafu wanaenda, na kuna nyingine nyuma ya mawe, hiyo ni ya cleansing cave. Hiyo kama ulikuwa umelala mtu au mmezana mtoto, mlikuwa mnaitwa pale mkuje mkilenziwe. Mkikuja mnaambiwa mtoe kitu moja na mchukue yule mtoto mumpeleke kwa statue yoyote.
Kakamega is replete with symbols of the stone, from the numerous hotels in the Ilesi named after it to the county flag with the stone at its center. Several foreign tourists visit the crying stone annually. On average, they receive 300 to 500 foreign tourists every year. With the much potential the historical site carries with it, how has the county government played a role?
Kwa majina naitwa Jacqueline Kesa, nafanya na Kakamega County Community. Hii kazi imetubenefit na angalau kutuandikisha kazi, imetuajiri na pia tumelipewa watoto wengine basari, alafu pia na kutujengea mito.
We believe that more can be done. Think of this. What if the government or private developers join hands to refurbish the crying stone of Ilesi? After a good and exciting experience at the crying stone of Ilesi, we left to our next destination. Kenya has been struggling to increase her dwindling forest cover for years. Despite campaigns by environmentalists and efforts by the government, that battle of the forest is yet to be won. A report by the Kenya Water Tower Agency puts the country's average forest cover at just over 7.1%, with only 18 counties in the country meeting the recommended minimum of a 10% cover. The county of Kakamega is not in the top 10 of that list. But in this county, among the 5 most populous in Kenya, lies a story of conservation in the face of increased threat. Welcome to Kakamega Forest. Tara Stiles said that the clearest way into the universe is through a forest wilderness. How true is this? As we walked through the soothing nature of Kakamega Forest, a walk through the trees revealed that the most stunning parts of nature are found right there. Kakamega Forest is a rainforest located in Kakamega County. The forest is home to more than 300 bird species and an average of 400 species of butterfly, and these can be appreciated on walks and picnics in the reserve. Mammal species in the Kakamega Forest Reserve include squirrels, bushbacks, advacs, porcupines, and giant forest hogs. The exciting part about the forest is that it represents rich natural pharmacies by virtue of being enormous sources of plant and microbial material with potential medicinal and nutritional value. Speaking to the forest guard, we were amazed at the various herbs found at Kakamega Forest.
Good part of it, it's quite very much important, where people can come and collect it for sore throat and common cold. That's why we have got a lot of researchers right now who have come to Kakamega to do a lot of research. Because around Kakamega, 80 species of the forest are medicines.
Listening to, we believe that Kakamega Forest Reserve is one of the hidden gems of Kenya, and if you are a big fan of hiking, get your gears ready. There are hiking trails in the forest that allow for forest walking, camping, hiking, primate watching, bird and butterfly watching. By around 5 p.m., we finished our great adventure at Kakamega Forest and off we drove to Kisumu City as we had booked our night in various hotels there. On the second day of our field trip, the Kisumu Impala Sanctuary was our first stop. This is the precious heaven of Nyanza region, over 350 kilometers from the Kenya's capital. Set on the shores of Lake Victoria, the largest freshwater lake in Africa, the Kisumu Impala Sanctuary is a peaceful, relaxing place to enjoy the natural beauty that abounds here. The sanctuary hosts impalas, the rare Sitatunga antelope, as well as big cats, buffaloes, giraffes, cheetahs, and several primate species. The park is home to over 15 varieties of snakes found in the savannah. The venomous black mamba to the ferocious python snakes are some of the snake species kept in the sanctuary. The sanctuary is also home to 5 campsites, all with spectacular views of Lake Victoria. Bird watching, nature walks and glass-bottom boat rides complement the activities availed at the sanctuary. This is the wonderful Impala Park, the magical Kenya. We decide to have a soothing experience of the cool breeze of the lake by taking a boat ride to Dunga Beach for our lunch, as many of us craved to enjoy the fresh and tasty ngege from the lake. After our lunch, our last and final stop is the Kisumu Museum. The museum, like the other institutions affiliated with the National Museums Corporation, serves to collect, preserve, document, study, and exhibit Kenya's rich cultural and natural heritage. They engage their visitors, foster deeper understanding, and promote the enjoyment and sharing of authentic cultural and natural heritage. Located in Kisumu town along Kisumu-Kericho Highway is the Kisumu Museum, which was officially opened to the public in 1980. This is the second stop on our second day of the trip. We welcomed to the exhibition gallery which is an anthropological gallery containing traditional clothing and decorations, basketry, fishing gear, agricultural tools, different species of birds, traditional artifacts, and hunting weaponry. A lion is also on display. These artifacts exhibits a rich cultural history. A second pavilion inside the exhibition gallery contains scores of aquaria with a wide variety of fish from Lake Victoria, along with descriptive posters giving information on specific fish species that are on display. Of notable mention is the mudfish, popularly known as momi, and tilapia, known as ngege in Luo. The second exhibition building contains an indoor arboretum with a variety of snakes such as mambas, python, and puff adders. The venomous snakes are in glass cages. The poisonous snakes include the rhinoceros viper and species of cobras, mambas, and adders. They are often fed on different kinds of food at specific times. The outdoor pavilions also have a crocodile pond and enclosures for different live exhibitions. Another notable feature is a 300-year-old tortoise imported to Kenya from Seychelles in 1930. Along with several other tortoises exhibited in the museum, these tortoises survives through regularly being fed cabbages and water. The museum has also multiple exhibits specifically related to Luo history and culture. The exhibits deal with the origin of the Luo people and their settlement in Western Kenya. Located just after the exhibit gallery and snake park is a traditional Luo homestead. The exhibition is known as Bergidala exhibition, which means it is good to have a home. The exhibition is essential for documenting the history of the Luo and preservation of their culture. It is a full-scale recreation of a traditional Luo homestead, the homestead of a Luo man named Jaduong Odero, who was married to 3 wives.
When you stand at that door of Mekai facing the main gate, the hut on the right-hand side, that one there, is for the second wife, Nyachira.
The first wife is referred to as Mikai, and her house sits at the center of the homestead. The second wife is referred to as Nyachira, and the house is at the right-hand side of Mikai. The third wife is referred to as Reru, and the house is at the left-hand side of Mikai. There is also a livestock pen and a granary that could be used for the storage of cereal crops such as maize, millet, wheat, and sorghum. Crops such as beans could also be stored in the granary. The setup gives a unique sight into the traditional Luo home. We end our 2-day tour of the 2 western counties with songs and dance by the Aegis Kenya crew, which we actively take part in.